Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sarina Fazan. We're coming to you live from the studios at CP Communications and Red House Streaming. I am joined with Ian Tangler. He works with me at Sarina Fazan Media. Ian, introduce yourself.
Well, I am the videographer and also the video editor for you guys at SFM, Sarina Fazan Media, and it's an honor to be here.
And it's such a milestone moment, right? So we are actually doing a test today because my podcast, On the Record with Sarina Fazan, and I should say our podcast.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's the key word.
Yes,
that's the key word.
Our podcast, On the Record with Sarina Fazan, is going live for the very first time here at Red House Streaming and CB Communications in St. Petersburg, Florida, Friday at 1:30. Ian, how significant is that?
I mean, as you said before, it's a huge milestone moment. I mean, because you've been doing On the Record with Sarina Fazan at our offices in Tampa, Florida for a long time now, but now we get to do a whole experience. We got all these cameras and all these microphones, but you know what? You actually have a special announcement about the guests.
Yes, I do. And I wanted Ian to make the announcements, but he said, no, you do it. But what did we agree on?
I can do the second one and you're the first one because we need to even it out a little bit because you're the Emmy Award winner, you know? So you get the #1 slot there.
Oh, see how sweet he is. See the type of people I have behind me. I love it.
I try.
All right. So we're going to split this great news. We are going to have legal commentator. He's a prominent criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor, Paul Sisco, joining me in the studio and on the set, along with
TV investigator Jim Rathmann.
And Jim Rathmann, let's share a little bit about him, right, Ian? So I got my first national producer credit this year working on Joe Exotic, Tigers, Lies, and Cover-Up. I mean, Joe Exotic, who hasn't heard that name?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jim Rathmann is actually the television investigator behind that show. He is really the star of this show.
Oh, yeah. He's like the #1 person that's on the show. And it's just, he's a great guy. We all love him. And he did such a great job with that documentary.
And also, I mean, he was actually in the Capitol during one of the darkest days in our recent history when chaos erupted very sadly earlier this month. He was actually there filming something for Joe Exotic. Yeah,
and I actually saw this on his Instagram story. And he was in the backseat of his car and said, hey guys, you know, we just made it out, you know, of the riots that just happened. We weren't there, but I just want to let you know personally that I'm safe. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, Jim's in there. So I wonder if he's okay. But, you know, we're so thankful that he's safe and out of harm's way.
Absolutely. And so he's going to be talking to us about what that was like. We also have some major announcements on what's coming up with Joe Exotic, including the fact that there may even be more episodes for Joe Exotic, Tigers, Lies, and Cover-Up.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Jim has uncovered some pretty big news on the investigation. Ian and I actually were talking to him in the car prior, so we don't know if he can put any of it on the record yet, but he's going to give us some scoop for sure.
That's right. But we were kind of, well, in Jim's words, we were kind of sworn to secrecy.
Yes.
And but you know, our lips are sealed, folks, until the news will come out soon.
Yes, and absolutely, we're hoping it's going to come out, at least some of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
On Friday,
at least some of it,
right?
yeah.
So back to that, I mean, okay, Ian, how cool is this that they've created our graphics, Sarina Fazan Media here, our green color. We're doing this live test, and we talked about this before, but from like your standpoint, why is doing something like this so important?
Well, it's really kind of crucial, you know, when you're doing live podcasting, like you want to make things big, you want to make things engaging for, you know, the watchers. And so to have like, you know, all this stuff here, the Red House Streaming, and also you got your logo, Sarina Fazan Media, and I'm going to Vanna White it for you.
Thank you.
But, you know, it is important because with such an awesome team, you know, from Red House Streaming, CB Communications, but also this great equipment. I mean, we couldn't do all this stuff without this awesome equipment.
Yes.
And also a great host.
Oh.
And also our awesome guest coming soon this Friday. But yeah, it's very important and it's very cool.
It's going to be very, very exciting. And we wanted to talk a little bit more. We wanted to go in depth more about the studio and everything that's offered here, all the amazing equipment, as you talked about, Ian. So Ian and I actually did a behind the scenes video and talking about the huge announcement with the CEO, Court Heitman. Why don't we take a look at that? Hi everyone, I'm Sarina Fazan and I am back on the set. I'm here at CP Communications and Red House Streaming in St. Petersburg, Florida, and thanks to the team, they are taking my podcast, On the Record with Sarina Fazan, live for the very first time. So I'm here with Court Heitman, the CEO. Court, I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much for carrying my podcast live.
Oh, we're really happy to have you here. This is exciting for us too.
So tell me about CP Communications and Red House Streaming. I mean, for me, it's a playground. I love it.
Well, it is. We've been in business for 35 years, primarily as an audio-video company providing equipment to the broadcast industry. But over the last 3 years, we started to transition into streaming. Created a brand called Red House Streaming, which is just a brand. It's not a division of. I hate that word, right? Division is So Red House Streaming focuses mainly on exactly what's in its name, streaming, right? And giving content producers, creators, the ability to get their message across quickly and cost effectively.
And why do you think that's more important now? I mean, I know we're living in an unprecedented time.
Yeah, I think that YouTube has been huge for people, right? And YouTube has given the folks that don't have a voice, right? And you talk about YouTube stars and how, and now they're being courted, and you talk about influencers and that, but there's a lot of other things out there that don't have a voice, that aren't able to get their message across, because A, it might be too expensive, B, they don't know how to do it, and C, the timing wasn't right. So right now, the timing is right, okay? To have smaller studio space that is cost effective, and with the advent of streaming and the capabilities of the equipment that's out there now, people can get their message out. And I think people are dying for real news, real messaging, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, real
Yes.
stuff. What's important we're big with youth, as an ex-coach. Youth is very important to us. So what's important to youth? You talk about influencers, and you talk about that they're an influencer for a reason, right? But there's a lot of people that don't really, they don't care. They want to see somebody else's opinion.
Well, so let me ask you, when you were talking about being an ex-coach, and you were talking about youth, and they are the voice. They are the voice of the future. Yep. And I think, like, we're on a virtual set right now that you guys have created. We have my logo and everything.
You got your logo. We've got our awesome library back there.
It's so super cool. So you can create any type of background, right?
Yeah, I mean, the virtual backgrounds nowadays are fantastic. What you can do. So again, very cost effective, really professional looking. And I mean, anybody can come in here and do a shoot, do a podcast, just like we're doing.
Well, I am I don't even have the proper words because I'm so excited about it. And I also got a chance to tour your warehouse and all the equipment, because it's beyond the virtual sets. Tell us what else you do. You provide a lot of equipment for major sports. We have the Super Bowl coming here.
Yeah, we're really excited. And it's unfortunate that COVID is kind of putting a damper on the Super Bowl. I mean, the River Walk and so much that Tampa has to offer, and St. Pete as well. And we have so much equipment that we can send out remotely, and bring in. So whether it's cameras, wireless microphones, our new CamStream products, which are huge, which a lot of folks are using now to get their message everyone's working from home, right? So we're a lot better than a Zoom call. I love Zoom. Zoom is great. Everybody loves Zoom. It works, but there's only so much it can do, right? And so if you want to come, even if you don't want to come here, the beauty of this studio is that you can produce a show from here without being here, okay? You can be a content producer at home and remote into our facility and literally use all of this, the green screen, right? You can have talent at home and you can come here, or you can do it all from remote, or you can do it all here. So that's
amazing.
that's what's cool about this.
Well,
yeah.
we're showing, as we're talking, my team has shot some video,
Okay,
your amazing
great.
studio. So we're covering, some of this interview with some of the amazing video
Yep.
that we shot. And I can't wait to do my podcast. And of course, would love to talk to you more about the podcast process. And everybody wants to do a podcast, as you said, too, nowadays.
Right.
So it's very exciting. I can't thank you again enough. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I think we got it. I think we touched base on it all. We're really happy to have you here, and we're really happy that we'll get the message out to folks that, in St. Pete, you've got a place to come and get your message out,
Well, I'm beyond flattered and honored.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Court Heitman, CEO of CP Communications and Red House Streaming. And stay tuned for my first ever live podcast on the record with Sarina Fazan. Thanks to these guys.
All right.